At the victory gala, my wife handed her lover $1.2 million in front of the entire New York tech elite. It was only after the champagne stopped flowing that she realized I was gone. My lead assistant and 18 core engineers had already walked out the door to join our biggest rival. They took the code, the soul, and the future of the company with them. Now we were facing a massive lawsuit and a mountain of liquidated damages. She finally panicked. Inside the grand ballroom of the Pierre, Anna's voice was amplified by the high-end sound system, echoing into every corner of the room. "Tonight isn't just about our successful Series B funding," she said. "I want to offer a very special thanks to one individual, my executive assistant, Julian Miller." Julian stood up, buttoning his Armani jacket with a practiced, modest bow. Anna didn't even try to hide the admiration and warmth in her eyes. "Julian was the MVP of this funding round," she continued, "and I have decided to reward him personally." She paused, letting the silence stretch to build the anticipation. Then she spoke with sharp clarity. $1.2 million in cash, wired to his account right now. The room exploded. Applause, sharp whistles, and looks of pure envy washed over Julian like a tidal wave. He walked onto the stage to stand beside her, their eyes locked in a moment of perfect, sickening harmony. In the far corner, the seat labeled for Caleb, co-founder and CTO, sat empty. Nobody noticed. Nobody cared. The gala was a coronation for Astra AI. For a 4-year-old startup focused on AI medical imaging, this $500 million round was a shot of pure adrenaline. The partners from Blackwood Ventures were there, along with every major fund manager in the city and a pack of hungry tech journalists. But the sun they all orbited was Anna. At 32, she was at her most lethal. She wore a Valentino red lace couture gown that made her skin look like marble. Her chestnut hair was pinned back loosely, a few curls resting on her neck. She held the microphone, her lips curled into a smile that was perfectly calibrated, confident, and magnetic. Her eyes scanned the crowd, and wherever her gaze landed, the applause grew louder. "I want to thank this era," she said, "and I want to thank every Astra employee who bled for this." Her voice was clear and powerful, carrying a sense of absolute control. "This isn't the finish line," she shouted over the cheers. "Astra will be the global leader in AI diagnostics. We have the elite team, the tech, and the market. Let's build the future together." She looked like a queen. Flashbulbs captured every second of her triumph. But she didn't leave the stage. She scanned the front row until her eyes locked onto Julian. He was looking up at her with a look that bordered on worship. "Tonight I have one more person to thank," Anna said, her voice dropping into a softer, almost intimate register. She didn't look away from Julian. A sharp spotlight cut through the dim room, pinning Julian in a white beam. He rose with a smile that perfectly mixed surprise and humility. "My executive assistant, Julian Miller," Anna said, her pride nearly spilling over. During this round, Julian showed grit and resources far beyond his years. He was on call 24 hours a day, handling everything from the initial pitch decks to the final term sheets. There would be no party tonight without him. Her praise was lavish, almost romantic. Beneath the stage, a few of the veteran engineers who had been with us since the garage days exchanged dark looks. Someone curled their lip in disgust. Someone else lowered their head to take a long drink from their glass. They stayed silent. The VCs, however, wore playful smirks, enjoying the drama. They saw it as vibrant startup culture. I watched all of this from my apartment in Brooklyn. The huge windows were open, letting in the cool May air. There were no lights on in the room, only the warm glow of my vintage brass desk lamp. I sat in the circle of light, wearing my old gray hoodie, focused on the files spread across the mahogany surface. My phone was silent, but it was live streaming the gala. Some disgruntled employee was filming it on TikTok. The quality was grainy, but I could see Anna's face clearly. I saw the look she gave Julian, a look of tenderness she hadn't given me in years. I watched her wire the money. When the green text, "Transfer successful," flashed on the screen, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel sadness. I felt like I was watching a bad movie that had finally reached its predictable ending. I reached out and swiped the screen. The video died. The reflection of my own face appeared in the black glass, calm and hollow. $1.2 million, I whispered to the empty room. Good for him. I remembered 6 months ago. My CoreSite team had pulled 80-hour weeks to hit the technical milestones for this Series B. The guys were joking about the massive bonuses they'd get once the check cleared. But when the time came, Anna called me into her office. She looked tired, stressed, beautiful. "Caleb," she said, "the funding is at a sensitive stage. We need every cent for public relations and marketing. Tell the team to hold on. I'll make it up to them, I promise." I believed her. I told my team, the guys with the red eyes and the broken sleep schedules, that the company was in a tight spot. They trusted me. They stayed. Now Astra had $500 million in the bank, and Anna was giving a 7-figure gift to her assistant while my team's bonuses were still on hold. I drank the rest of my cold black coffee. The bitterness burned my throat. I was awake now. I picked up my pen. It was a classic Mont Blanc, the metal cold in my hand. I signed the collective resignation letter. All 18 signatures were already there, waiting for mine. I signed the partnership agreement with Apex Solutions, Astra's most hated rival. They offered me 30% equity in a new subsidiary. They offered my team signing bonuses that would make Anna's eyes water. Most importantly, I had registered the CoreSite IP under my own name before I ever signed with Astra. It was a technicality Anna had ignored because she thought I'd never leave. I pulled up our encrypted iMessage group. "Everything is ready," I typed. "See you at 9 tomorrow. New battlefield." The replies flooded in instantly. "We're in, Caleb. Let's burn it down." Monday morning at Astra was a massacre. By 9:15 a.m., the engineering floor was a graveyard. 18 desks were perfectly clean. No laptops, no family photos, no coffee mugs. The silence was heavy, terrifying. When the HR director found the 18 resignation letters on her desk, she nearly collapsed. Anna walked in at 10:30 a.m., glowing from the night before. She didn't notice the atmosphere until the CTO ran into her hallway, his face white. "Caleb is gone," he gasped. "He took the whole team. And Anna, he doesn't just have the team. He owns the patent. We don't have the rights to the AI core anymore." Anna's world tilted. She grabbed the wall, her Valentino confidence shattering into 1,000 pieces. The fallout was instant. Blackwood Ventures didn't ask questions. They sent in the lawyers. On X, the top trending topic was Nubber collapse, our rival. Apex released a press release announcing the launch of CoreSite 2.0, led by Dr. Caleb. It was a surgical strike. Within weeks, Astra's stock was worthless. Julian, the million-dollar man, was useless. He didn't know a line of code. He was just a socialite in a suit. Worse, the auditors found he had been skimming company funds for months. Anna had to watch as the police escorted him out of the building in handcuffs. 1 year later, I stood on the terrace of the San Jose Convention Center. I had just finished the keynote speech for the National Tech Summit. I was wearing a tailored Navy suit, no tie, feeling the sun on my face. "Caleb," a voice whispered. I turned around. It was Anna. She looked smaller, older. She was working for some low-level consulting firm, trying to claw her way back from bankruptcy. I looked at her, and I didn't feel the sting of betrayal anymore. I just felt nothing. "I sent the old notebook to your office," I said, keeping my voice neutral. "Did you get it?" She nodded, her eyes filling with tears. "That notebook had our first sketches for Astra. It's over now," I said. "Take care of yourself." I walked away, stepping back into the light of the summit, leaving the shadow of our past behind me.